Anthony Budo, Journey Evolution, and in this video, we are going to take a look at the quote, "An emotion does not cause pain. Resistance or suppression of emotion causes pain." So, are you ready? Let's go. All right, let's jump right in. I want to start out by asking you, how do you handle physical and emotional pain? Do you take care of them the same way? Or do you avoid the emotion, hoping that it heals on its own? I want you to take a few minutes and think about the times in your life where you experienced physical and emotional pain. And during those times, how did you address each of those? How did you address the physical pain, and how did you address the emotional pain? Did you handle them in the same manner, or did the methods vary? Because I'm willing to bet that you handled each differently. This quote is interesting because it expresses the idea that our emotions do not cause pain. Rather, it's the avoidance of those emotions that causes the pain. So I ask you, do you agree with that? So typically when it comes to a physical pain, what do we tend to do? We usually take care of it immediately. We usually address that physical pain quickly in order to make sure we have the fastest remedy possible. However, when it comes to our emotions, we don't always address those right away. We let them linger. We bury them deep down inside instead of bringing them to the surface. As I think back to a moment in my life where I experienced physical pain, there was a moment when I was younger when my cousin and I back then were running around inside and outside of the house, and the door that leads to the outside was made of all glass. And as we were running around, having fun, just living carefree as most kids that age do, I was charging full steam ahead towards that door. And what happened? I missed the door handle and my arm went through the glass. The glass shattered, sliced my arm, it left a big gash. I actually still have the scar today from that incident. There's blood everywhere and my parents called 911. Everyone came rushing over to bandage me up while we were waiting for the ambulance. And I was surrounded by people that were immediately trying to take care of the pain that I was in, that were trying to take care of the physical trauma I was in. That is just one example of when we are experiencing some type of physical trauma, physical pain, we don't hesitate. We give prompt attention to it and we make sure that we take care of it. But when it comes to our emotions, it's different. Any emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, frustration, resentment, the list can go on, we leave alone. We don't address it right away. We turn away and we avoid it, hoping that it just disappears on its own. We like to bury it deep down inside, and what tends to happen, that emotion grows, it festers. Sometimes it could be for days, other times it could be for years. And we learn to cope with that emotion buried deep down inside. Even though that pain is intensifying within us, it hurts, but we think it's easier to do that than to address it and take care of it. If you think about it, if we treated emotional pain similar to physical pain, think of how better off we all would be. Think about all of those years maybe that you spent carrying around that emotional hurt. Maybe it's some anger or some resentment, and you could actually begin to heal that if you actually gave it the attention as opposed to avoiding it, that you could begin to heal that internal pain. Think about the physical pain that you've experienced and the emotional pain that you've experienced, or that you even might still be experiencing today. So think about those experiences that you had. Maybe you have some unwanted negative emotions right now, where your first reaction is typically to bury those deep down. But I want you to flip the switch and to now embrace them. I want you to start focusing on your emotions, and if there's anything that needs attention, I want you to start looking at that. So leave me a comment and let me know. Let me know of some physical pain and some emotional pain that you maybe have experienced in your life, and how did you handle each of those situations? Was it with the physical pain, you took care of it immediately? And how did you handle the emotional pain? Did you handle that immediately, or did you bury it deep down inside like I mentioned before? And if you have it down in there now, what can you do to start giving it attention, to start embracing it, to start healing? So leave me a comment and let me know. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Together, we can become stronger individuals. Educate, engage, evolve, and I will see you soon.